Hello, love. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you're new here, as a side gig, I sell clothing and other goods on websites such as Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. In this video, I'm only focusing on eBay though, and my sales in the month of February, specifically over on eBay. If you didn't know, there was a seller update in February where they were fixing things on the back end. So along with Poshmark, sales were a little bit slow on eBay as well, but I'm going to go ahead and share with you what did sell over on that platform. With that said, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So the very first thing to sell over on eBay was a pair of 90 Degree by Reflex leggings. These came in a ThredUp rescue box where I paid just under $2 per piece for. These sold for $6 to the buyer. I did charge the buyer shipping with this as well. The next piece to sell also came from a ThredUp rescue box. This was an ACB red long sleeve ribbed sweater dress. It was in a size large. It sold for $11 to the buyer. The buyer did pay shipping. So I did definitely earn profit on that. I wouldn't say that either of these pieces or any of the pieces I'm going to share with you have a huge profit, but it does tell you that things are definitely selling over on eBay. This next piece came from some free inventory that I sourced through the Nextdoor app. If you haven't seen my other videos, I'll fill you in a little bit how I got linked up with that person. Somebody on one of their posts, they were asking about side gigs that they could possibly start up, and I was talking all about reselling, that I had got into this lately, and I was making a little bit more money, and somebody in the comments on that post said, "Oh, I used to be linked up with somebody that was reselling. They've since moved away. I have all of these clothes. Are you interested in checking them out?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, we can meet up somewhere," thinking she had like a bag of clothes that she just wanted to give away. No, she had hundreds of pieces that she was willing to just give to me for free. She basically said she used to give them to Goodwill, but she realized that resellers were going to Goodwill, buying them and reselling them anyways. So she was like, "I'm just going to cut to the chase. You can just have all the profit. You don't have to worry about it at all. The pieces don't go for that much, but it's free inventory and I will definitely take it." So anyways, this Zara TRF collection black tunic, it was a dress tunic. I wasn't really sure how to market it, but it did sell for $15 to the buyer. The buyer did pay shipping, so all of that, like I said before, was profit to me, as well as this next piece. The next piece was an Ann Taylor Loft softened shirt. It sold for $7. The buyer did pay shipping for this as well. All profit to me. Moving along, I did sell, I believe you pronounce it Alley Oop Spot One all-in-one spot treatment. This came from where did it come from? I think it came from a Quick-Lat's beauty box. Now, I don't think that Quick-Lat's has done beauty boxes for quite some time, but about a year ago, I bought like a premium beauty box, and this is one of the pieces that came in it. This sold for $6.50 to the buyer. The buyer did not pay shipping, so I really didn't get anything back from this. In fact, I lost money because the items in that box specifically, I want to say were about $6 a piece, but this got out of my inventory. I wasn't using it. This actually came with quite a few of these. I tried it and I broke out like crazy, so I vowed never to use it. I still kept the rest of them up on eBay. Lost money on this one. This next piece has a little bit of a story to it. This Hot Wheels 68 Mercury Cougar. This is something that my mom actually sourced because she works in a bunch of stores, such as Target is probably where she got this. She noticed a bunch of resellers were going in and purchasing a lot of these, so she was like, "Hey, if they're purchasing it, I'm just gonna buy one really quick." I want to say they were like 50 cents a piece, which is probably why so many people were going crazy getting them. This ended up selling for $28, which obviously from 50 cents to $28 or $28.60 rather, it's a big jump. When the buyer received the item, the not the part with the car, but like the plastic overlay was bent a little bit, and they were a little bit upset about that because obviously they're probably wanting to collect this in some way. So I ended up refunding the shipping to the buyer because at first we were gonna do, the buyer was just going to return it to me. I was gonna try to straighten it out, to be honest, see if there was any creases, take pictures of the creases and relist it. And the buyer was like, I am not wasting my time. I'm not going to the post office for this. This is ridiculous. You did not give me what I wanted. So eventually we settled on I was just going to refund the shipping and we were gonna move on with our day. I thought everything was all good. I ended up getting negative feedback on this. I did reach out to eBay to see if I can get that feedback removed because I did provide an opportunity for the buyer to return with free shipping and they did not want that. I did provide a discount on the shipping, or I refunded the shipping. I actually refunded even more than the shipping because I think I refunded $6 and the shipping was $5.60. So whatever, I refunded a little bit more because they kept saying $6, $6. And still I got that negative feedback. So it's my first negative feedback that I got on eBay. Please tell me I'm not the only one who has negative feedback. Everything else has been completely positive. So that kind of, that hit me a little bit. But anyways, this next piece brought up my day a little bit. It was a blue and gray loft striped romper. This came from free inventory, all profit to me. It sold for $7. The buyer did pay for shipping. This craft move jersey came from a Quick Lots Amazon pallet. At the present moment, those Amazon pallets are sold out, but I will put a picture here of what that looks like as well as a link in the description so that when it does come back, you can jump on it because I've had such success with this. This sold for 99 cents on auction, but the buyer did pay for shipping. This piece was about 50 cents cost of goods. I have way more than doubled, tripled, quadrupled even my money on that pallet. So it's almost like I'm just trying to get things out at this point. I'll take the 99 cents. It is what it is. At least the buyer did pay the shipping for it. This Athleta light heather gray long sleeve shirt. It was like an open neck, almost like lounge yoga shirt. This sold for $10 to the buyer. The buyer did pay for shipping. This came from a ThredUp rescue box. It was, roughly the $2 of inventory or cost of goods into it. So I definitely, I made a little bit of money on that. I'm not mad about that at all. This next piece, the Zara collection wide leg pants. These came from the free inventory from the buyer, or the person I talked about earlier. The buyer paid $2. They did pay the shipping. Obviously, I didn't really make any money on this at all, but they were free, so whatever. It did just start raining, so if you hear something that sounds like rain, it's because it is raining. I figured I'd film this video today because tomorrow it's supposed to literally storm and storm and storm all day, and I didn't want that going on in the background right now. It's just, light Florida rain as it rains basically every day this time of year. This next piece is a blue and white swim trunks. This came from an Amazon pallet, as I talked about before. These sold for $10 to the buyer. The buyer only paid $2.99 in shipping, so it's like we kind of split it half and half. But again, it was a 50-cent cost of goods, so I was okay with that for sure. Okay with this next piece, definitely, because it came from, of course, free inventory. It was a loft burgundy mini skirt. This sold for $7.40 to the buyer. The buyer did pay shipping, so I did get all of that profit. These Old Navy Rockstar mid-rise jeans came from free inventory again. I have a lot of pieces. Like I said, hundreds. I would say at this point, I probably have like 500 pieces from this particular person. This sold for $125 to the buyer. The buyer did pay shipping. It was free. It's out of my house. Not my size, otherwise I probably would have kept it myself. Another piece that came from my mom, although she didn't specifically source for this, this was a Glinda the Good Witch Wizard of Oz Barbie. This was actually mine as a child. I was really into collecting Barbies because I don't know, I thought it was gonna be, you know, a reseller one day, I suppose. It wasn't even a thought, but for some reason I knew I needed to collect Barbies. This sold for $27.38 to the buyer. The buyer did pay for shipping, so I got all the profit from that. I probably could have sold it for even more if I would have held on to it, but my mom has been working on cleaning out of her house. I didn't want it transferred to my house because it is pretty bulky. I'm not emotionally attached to it in any way, so there we are. It's sold. Somebody else is probably collecting it to maybe resell later, or maybe they actually wanted it. Who knows? In any case, I got money for it. And that was it. That's really all that sold on eBay for me in the month of February. Remember, like I said, they were doing a seller update on the back end. Things were changing around just like they were in Poshmark. So things were slow in February overall. I did get that negative feedback that kind of upset me, but you know, I knew eventually I was going to get the negative feedback. I just, you don't know when that's going to come. So that was my first one. It is what it is. I hope to be able to share with you my next ventures. My next video that I'm actually coming out with is a Cozy Threads unboxing. I did get into that company and I did get a vintage fur box, which I haven't seen too many people have, so I'm excited to go ahead and share with you with that one. So if you want to make sure that you are notified, make sure you hit the notification bell as well as subscribe. That way you can know my next videos that come out, and of course we can learn and grow together.